Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. The instructions say next to make sure that this switch is facing the 100L direction, which mine was from the factory. It would be different if you wanted to use like a spindle gun or something for aluminum. And then the next thing we're going to do is take off this wing nut for the spool and the plastic spacer they have there. And we'll take our 2-inch spindle adapter out. Since we're not going to need that right now. That's for bigger rolls, I think. And then what you're going to do is pull this pivot arm back, and it opens up this top lever with the bearing, and then you unscrew this black cap here. And what we're doing here is we're going to set up the grooved wheel. So we have this black retaining knob and the drive roll out, and you want to make sure that the size wire you're using is facing out towards you. So we read here the 035 size wire which we're using. We want that stencil facing towards us, and actually the groove is on the opposite side. It's kind of confusing, but make sure you put that on right. There's a little Woodruff key there. So 035 facing out. And mine was actually set up correct from the factory. So everything so far has been set up correctly for Flux-Core wiring from when I opened it. So just put that on snug, not too tight, it's plastic. And next we will work on our spool. Alright, so next we get our Flux-Core spool, 035. And the most important thing is you do not want to lose tension on this. I've seen these things bird cage out and you'll never get it this tight again. This is tight from the factory against the spool, and it's just a mess. You basically have to throw the whole wire away because it's worthless. So they said at first to cut off about 2 inches, so I'm going to do that before I unravel it. I guess they assume it could be screwed up from the factory or bent. Have a little burr on it, I'm not sure, but that's what it says. So I'm going to pull this out carefully. Actually, I'm going to cut off this end here. I think that's what they're talking about.
Since we know about that.
Alright, so I have that nipped off. And I'm maintaining tension this whole time on here. Just slide it on and slide it through. I'm going to push it through the groove. And actually, before I get it, oh, see, it just almost started unspooling on me. Don't let that happen. Okay. I'm going to put my nut on here and keep it tight. That's how I need it. Okay, so this is a little tough here. Got to get it to go through this little hole. There we go. You want to keep feeding until it comes out the front. Okay, so it just came out the front for me. I'm going to tighten this up. Close the upper spindle assembly and lock it in place. Now I can safely let go. It says for this type of wire to tension it till it's at 3, which it already was. This is the tensioner on the wheel. And ensure again that your wire's in the 35 thousandths groove there. And then you want to tighten this to the point where it's a light break. So I'll probably do a little bit looser. A little tighter. A little bit looser. Say about right there. And now we're ready to move on to installing the welding gun assembly. So next we removed the wing nut on top of the brass block here that we just put the wire through. And then we're going to feed this wire into the gun connector and then slide it all the way in and orient it so we can then install the trigger connector, I guess you'd call it. And all you do is insert the prongs in and twist clockwise to tighten this nut. So now we have our electricals connected, and we've ensured that the wire is fed in there, and then we just reinstall this wing nut. Alright, so your last step is to remove the black gasless nozzle and the tip. Set your wire speed to 5 and ensure that your amperage selector is not between numbers. So I just put mine on A. And then plug into your 20 amp fused power source. Turn it on and your power will come on. Then you want to feed your wire through until it comes out 4 inches from the end. I've heard some people say to keep this as straight as possible. It'll come out easy. There it goes. About 4 inches off the end, and then we want to shut the power off because this wire is actually electrically hot whenever that power's on and the trigger's on. Then we're going to install our tip. Slide it through. And then put our gasless black gun nozzle on. Make sure this is tight. Oops. Make sure that's tight. And then cut this till it's about 3/8 of an inch. That's what I've read everywhere, so looks about good to me. And now you're ready to weld.